Meow.
Hello.
I'm back.
Mew?
Back. We've got a pea brush with your name on it.
Oh,
Yes.
and we got a Mew. Sweet. I've got my Pokeball ready. Oh no, yeah, I already had enough with fairies for one day.
Okay, so
Don't fall asleep while he's singing. Like that.
So I have no idea where we are now because I had to go and do something for Mom.
Well,
Okay.
we did the mental bonding, which was pretty truthfully mental, and we found out that Jenna has a completely empty head, which is no surprise to anyone.
Yeah, really.
Then we watched Moose T's Horny, and do you remember what it was? We had this sort of inside joke between us, and I don't remember where it came from, but I would be like, I'm horny, horny, horny.
Oh,
And for
that's
some reason,
you woke up with that as your ringtone.
was that why I would sing that and we would laugh about it? Because I don't
Yeah.
remember now. It's okay.
Yeah, you
Because I
told-
was saying that I used it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used it as my alarm, and I was saying that I wasn't sure if that was what it was that we were laughing about or what, but
And then
maybe
I
it
want to
was.
say something about your grandmother heard it or something, but I don't think that's what happened. I think you just thought it was hilarious that you woke up to horny, horny, horny.
I think it was, and it always got in my head, but it was one of the few things that I could wake up to that would really give me the get up and go, you know? Made me feel very confident. Anyway, that's all that happened. We
Oh, okay, so we just did
we left
that, and
off
then
at-
we waited for Caleb to come back.
So,
Right, we left at the physical bonding, so we thought we would just... Because, see, Blue had never heard horny, so I was like, you've got to hear horny. So, yeah. And then we started to talk about things about, like, how it really doesn't make any difference if Link speaks or not, because anytime anybody says anything of any significance, she just tells us that it was said and it's done with it. Her dialogue doesn't
Yeah.
tell us anything.
So yeah. So I guess Hawkeye did the mental bonding, so now I'm doing the physical bonding, or are we switching?
I guess we could switch.
I'm fine with either.
So,
Yeah, why don't we switch again? and
okay, so
we
then that
Okay.
means it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. The physical bonding. The head
Take
monk
this
told...
pea brush. Sorry.
Yes, P-brush. The head monk told us the rules for the physical bonding. First, we had to put our wrists together and hold them up together in front of us. Then 2 monks came with rope and tied our wrists together.
Warning, warning, danger, danger.
Really.
A bowl with a white smoke rising from it was put down in front of us. How? You
Here,
guys are
smoke
tied
this,
together.
man. Smoke this. You're gonna get so high.
Dun, 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 dun.
We were told to inch closer to the bowl and to close our eyes again. You're tied together. Isn't that going to be a little difficult? The void opened up inside me again, and the warm feeling ran through my bones. I felt Link again inside my mind and inside my body. I heard
Scream
his
for
voice.
his life.
I heard his voice calling, felt his body against mine, felt his heart beating, so warm, so calming. I don't really think I'd be calm during this. I reached for him, tried to touch him. Then the void was shattered when I heard Link scream. Wow.
Oh my god, he went back to his canon dialogue.
Ah! I twisted in
I
pain
would have
as he
thought he would have
screamed.
screamed like that long before now.
Really.
I twisted in pain as he screamed inside my mind. My mind felt like it was on fire. My body felt like hot needles were being poked in. As Link twisted in
Good
pain,
job. The monks are just like totally murdering you right now.
I felt everything he was feeling. He screamed for me to help, but I was helpless. You're right there. Well, granted, you're tied up, but you're right there.
Yeah, and the way that she says it, it's not clear if they tied their own wrists together, their two wrists together, or they tied their wrists to each other.
I
Like,
figured
what
it was
exactly
each other.
happened? I mean, maybe. I don't know. It wasn't clear enough.
Am still reading, or who's Joe's turn?
We'll just switch off.
Okay.
It'll give us all an opportunity. Besides which, I think it's just too much for one person. we would just get beaten down. My body felt his heart beating faster, felt him twist in pain. I screamed as his voice ringed loudly through my mind. My head felt like it was being crushed as the intense pain raged through me.
Use that bigger on it, hammer. Just do it. Please.
I wanted it all to end, and so did we. Oh, we wanted it to end. We wanted the sweet embrace of death for you, Jenna.
I want you to die, my pretty. Die a horrible, painful death.
Note that I don't wish death on the author. I just wish death on the character.
Right.
Same. Let's not turn this into evidence to be used in a court.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's also not. I don't think it's right to tell someone, go die because you wrote a bad story or something.
Well, of course. That is
that's
really
stupid.
I mean, if
And
you're a douchebag, stop being a douchebag. But I'm not going to tell you to kill yourself because you wrote a shitty story that I absolutely hate from the bottom of my heart. With the fiery, legions of hell backing me up.
I am going to tell you never to write again, though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
or
then,
take some lessons.
Well, yeah. I suppose.
Yeah, or hey, I'm never going to read anything by this person again. But,
well, we might if it's not that long.
Well, just if anyone's heard of you, you're not going to be that lucky. You're not going to do that well, most likely. Yeah. But who knows?
But I just wanted to point that out. Some people are really extreme in their reactions, and we've covered this before. I don't think the extreme, my eyes are melting, you should go kill yourself stuff is funny or appropriate or clever or anything like that. It's just not funny, and it's very immature. So I just wanted to make it clear that that's not what I'm doing, because I don't think that is very good to do. So anyway, probably didn't have to explain that, but just in case anybody tuned in that wasn't listening before, that's something that I would never, ever, ever tell anybody to do. And I hope that nobody else out there would be that ridiculous and as to thinking that that is an accurate and completely deserved thing for creating something that you don't like.
In other words, there are people like that, but what do you
there are people like that. I mean, they'll do that. They'll say things like that to people, but I don't think it's appropriate, and I don't think it's right, and I would never do that. So
agreed.
That's just that's just not what we do here at Bad Fanfiction Theatre. So we will tell you to take some lessons, though. We will have constructive criticism for you, as we have had throughout here.
And again, if this was really written in 2000, who cares at this point?
Yeah.
Well, we care because we have to read the damn thing.
Oh yeah, right. God, please kill me. There we go.
It's just like, the funny thing is, the person who wrote this story is by now probably really embarrassed that she did.
What I heard,
don't know from her Encyclopedia Dramatica article, but
yeah, same.
Well, yeah, because you really want to actually take anything at that site at face value.
Well, when you take away the bias and some of the trollish nature of it, it can give you at least some facts on people.
I think
Well,
that site is bullshit, but that's just
It
me, I
it
guess.
really is. I've known people that have had pages on there. Basically, it's just anybody can put any old shit up if they, even if it's a rumor about you or some stupid thing.
Pretty much, but at least you can't. But it can be. I'm just saying.
It
It
can
isn't
be.
always, but
It's much. It's. I mean, as much as I criticize Wikipedia, it at least is far more likely to have more accurate stuff on it than just a bunch of people got together and decided that this was reality, so we were going to write it in encyclopedia format. So you never know, really. I mean, we really don't know anything about this person, so who knows, really. I wanted it all to end.
Yes, yes,
The
and,
feeling is
and,
I wanted it all
and.
to end. Wanted the pain to go away. Since of the connection that was bonding us together, all pain that one feels, the other feels the same at the same time. That was very awkwardly phrased.
that was the
Oh,
most
really?
ingenious sentence I've ever seen. Like that needs to be like. I swear, like that is Nobel Peace Prize worthy right there. You can see the social metaphors in that sentence. Just since the connection that was bonding us together, they're saying that it's like an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. That is nothing to this.
Well, you reminded me so much of Critical just now.
If I'm reminding anyone of Critical, then there is something. There's either something seriously wrong with the world, or I am doing way better than I thought.
Let's go with the latter.
Yeah.
As the pain
It's just
intensified.
it's totally something I could just hear him saying during one of his little playthrough videos.
I suppose.
As the pain intensified, my heart began to beat faster. My pulse raced, and my body twisted and screamed. I almost said screamed. Remember screamed?
Yes. He ran around screaming, and then he died.
As the shit.
Just can't escape from Star Turds. Ever, not even
Shittering.
here.
Yay!
It would be like one of those old World of Darkness things, which sort of mythical beast could we call the shittering? We've got vampire, the masquerade, and werewolf of the apocalypse. We'll have to have something, the shittering.
Like The Shining, only with shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
You have psychic impressions when you have explosive diarrhea, and it's just unpredictable at any given time. That's why it's such a disgrace to some people. That's why psychics have such a stigma in that world. They have unpredictable explosive diarrhea, but they have complete foresight.
Oh dear, wouldn't that be the worst?
Yeah, at least it would be a reason why psychics would have a have a stigma.
Oh God, it's coming!
I can see clearly. I
I
can see
can
it
see
all.
clearly now that the shit is gone.
That reminds me. There was this Anne Marie commercial on television's ad on television, and it was only on late night, and it was back when I still had still watched television, and they had filmed this outside of just some house, and it had her walking around in the same outfit. She looked really bored, I have to say, but she was kind of trying to give it her best. But it was an advert for all these covers that she had done, and one of them was I Could See Clearly Now. And either they had like this huge wind machine on her, or it was getting ready to storm because like there were these there was this huge amount of wind. So yeah, I don't think the rain was quite gone. My body twisted and screamed as the shattering screamed. Shit! I did it again! Shattering screams and pure pain raged through, wrong again, my every vein. Then I opened my eyes and stared at Link with unblinking eyes as I watched him twisting in pain as he felt everything I was feeling. Wait. I thought she was in pain because he was in pain.
And what is causing the pain to begin with?
Yeah, what's causing this pain? If you're feeling what the other feels, who's causing the pain that's causing the both of you?
Pretty much.
Like, how stupid. That's crap. What a stupid ceremony. What is wrong with you people?
I'm hoping
Everything.
the monks are doing this to Jenna and not Link. At least that would give me some satisfaction.
She's an idiot. She's an idiot.
Well, you're pretty much just stating what we already know at this point.
Yeah, sadly, I'm being as redundant as she is.
But it's one of those things that really does bear repeating.
It really does, yeah. My wrist twisted as Link and I moved around. I screamed louder, wanted it all to cease, prayed it would end, and then all of a sudden the void broke and the pain ceased. Then I felt the warmth run through me again. Oh, she used through properly, finally.
She did it in the last paragraph.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, it said through my bones. The void opened up inside me, and the warm feeling ran through my bones.
Oh. Use it, she just fails to use it every time, except for those 2 times.
More
Good
or less.
job.
Yep.
Best job ever.
Link's heart slowed its beat and finally stopped. He was free. Free!
My God.
Yay, we don't have to suffer anymore. We can
The
just
blessed
leave.
freedom of death.
You've mercy killed these characters so many times only to bring them back 5 seconds later. We're worse than the author.
Ah! Oh, Link's heart slowed its beat, and his voice ran softly through my mind. Link touched my soul, and I felt a calming feeling come over me again. As the flame rose in my mind again, a rose bloomed in my soul. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you in a fucking sidecar of fuck with a fried fuck on the side, topped with fuck sauce.
What? What part is making you so mad? I'm not sure.
Yeah, same.
Stupid. A rose bloomed in my soul.
Oh, God.
it's
Yeah,
special.
okay.
Link's voice called from the flame, and his touch came from the rose.
I looked into the flame, but I could see nothing more.
I tried to reach for the flame. Why would you do that? You're a fucking idiot. Tried to touch the rose. Why would you touch the rose anyway? You're gonna eat it? You're gonna eat the rose?
As long as it's organically grown and covered in sugar.
Shove it in your face. Shove it in your cake hole, Jenna. Shove it, or your pee hole, as we have seen. Your pee blood drug hole.
Rush.
But the closer I got, the further away they became.
Then the feeling changed. A pleasurable feeling. A pleasure feeling started to surround me, and it rushed through my body like a raging river.
Then I was peeing again, peeing everywhere, peeing and bleeding and
Just like Beavis and Butthead in that one
Being an
episode where
epic
they
show-
just let loose for the final time.
I felt hot inside. It felt erotic.
Oh
Felt
yeah,
good.
come on,
What?
baby.
it felt erotic. It felt erotic.
Then I could feel Link's touch. It felt like he was inside me. It felt like our bodies merged. Then the feeling grew stronger, grew more intense, and it became like a sexual feeling. It was like
Sexual healing. Sorry.
It felt like having sex.
For me.
I felt a stronger connection with Link. Felt as if we were connected. Well, if you feel like you're having sex, I'd imagine it'd feel like you were connected.
Yeah, also an erotic feeling. Wouldn't that be kind of sexual? You would think.
Yeah, exactly. Felt as if we were one. Felt as if we were merged. Once again, connected, merged, having sex. These are all semi-synonyms.
The merging is complete.
You will be a part of the Borg. There is no other option.
Felt as if we... Okay, felt merged. Then the void shattered around me, and I awoke.
Oh god, I'm so glad that was only a dream. Oh shit, I'm still here.
Your distinctiveness shall be added to our own.
I blinked in the sunlight because it was the first time I had ever seen it.
Wait, the sunlight? How long is this?
Yeah.
Session? They rode through the friggin' desert, and it's still daylight? Or did this take throughout the night? What time is it? Where are we?
Wait, it was night?
Wait, where am I? What time is it?
When was it established that it was night?
It wasn't. That's my point. They've taken a whole day to go through. See, it said that they were having an afternoon meal with the Gerudo, right?
Yep.
So then they had to continue to ride through the desert, which is where the Gerudo live. So they find this pagan sanctuary somewhere.
Maybe it was only like a few minutes afternoon.
But like, it's got to take some time for psychoactive drugs to take effect for you to go through the experience of them. It's got to take some time for them to do this ritual in the first place. So what time is it exactly?
It's
3
Jenna
o'clock.
time.
Let's just go with that.
It's suck it to me time. I blinked in the sunlight and...
What?
I'm sorry. That had nothing to do with what we were reading, but suddenly Vanilla Ice came into my head. Ice, babe.
Man. Yeah, I think that's just good old-fashioned escapism on the part of your brain. Believe me, I've gone through it myself. I blinked in the sunlight and looked at Link. He was whipping the sweat from his brow.
Whip it into shape. Shape it up. Something about
It's not too late. Get the fuck out of there.
Whip it. Whip it good.
Oh, my. We were coming around from our oxygen deprivation. I mean, our strange experience, but we regained our senses quickly. My wrists hurt from palm twisting. Oh, no
Of course, your palms don't hurt, though.
Yeah, no, really. Their palms are still bleeding profusely all over the place.
Come on, Cassie. When did they ever have sense to begin with?
Exactly.
Yeah. My wrists hurt from all the twisting. I moved them around against his to get them more comfortable. So your wrists hurt from the twisting, so you move them some more to get them more comfortable. That makes sense. Then I turned to the head monk. He lowered his hands and clapped, "I have the biggest boner right now."
It's so
Thank
huge
you.
right now.
I
It's
love
longer than
you.
Gandalf's.
I can only get off by making a newlywed couple with one of them pregnant, naked in the middle of nowhere with people that they don't know, complete strangers, and then they drink each other's blood and pee and drug water, and then we torture them, and then we torture them some more, and they have to be very, very stupid. And now I'm finally getting off. It's been years. Thank you so much, Jenna.
Suffice it to say, I'm spent. The two monks came. The two monks came and removed the rope from around her.
Then they had to do a semen ceremony where they licked it off each other's butts.
Gross.
I'm sorry.
And then came the peeing.
and removed the rope from around our wrists and took the bowl away. I rubbed my wrists to soothe the pain. He then placed a hand on my head and one on Link's, and then cracked our skulls together.
That's what you get for being boneheads, stupid.
After
Crack them
about
together.
a
They made a sound faintly like coconuts.
Gonk. After about a minuet, we were told the physical bonding was complete. Embed peep brush.
You know, shouldn't they feel something more fulfilling? If they had to be told the bonding was complete, they did the same thing with the mental bonding. Shouldn't it be more transcendent? I mean,
Yeah, really.
any sort of like transcendental experience, like hallucinogenic experience, even something extreme like this that is clearly putting them in an altered state due to pain and possibly poisoning. I mean, but it usually starts out dark and difficult, and then you get to a place where you can understand it more and you feel more transcendent and you feel better about it, and it brings you closer, and it's a better thing, it's a good thing, you know. But it seems like it never really got to the good bit, you know, like.
And it never
Like-
will get used to it.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of a motif for this story too. It never quite gets to the good bit.
This,
You know, we've had to make up the good bits as we go along.
yes.
That's essentially entirely what this story is. That's the only real way to get enjoyment out of it.
2 people are not enough to suffer through this story. 3 people are not enough to suffer through this story. Apparently 4 is the magic number.
Apparently.
The spiritual bonding. The next ritual was the spiritual bonding. After the details were told to us, the head monk called his 2 servants, and they came with 2 colored pendants and bowls with colored liquid in them. Do you
Pendants?
not know what the liquid is? Do you not ask? Why is this not important?
Shoe
Give
jelly.
this to Jenna, she'll drink anything.
I guess.
Well, she drank Link's pee.
Hey,
Yeah.
she likes it. Hey, Jenna.
The 2 servants took the liquid and began to draw beautiful, intricate patterns on our backs, arms, and chests. Then
So they're
the-
just feeling you up right now. essentially.
Then they put the
As it did
pendant.
away through our flesh.
Then they put the pendant with the red stone around my neck, the blue one around Link's.
Why is this constantly red and blue, pink and blue? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but
Yeah, because
actually, no, I'm
there's
sorry.
no other colors that could represent you guys.
Why not green and I don't know.
Purple.
Yeah, I suppose.
No,
Chartreuse.
Green and rainbow. It'll change color based on her emotions. Might as well just make her even more embarrassing.
Yeah.
I propose a color called Oops Habaneros.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That flew way over my head.
The 2 servants moved away, and we were told to embrace each other. I moved over to Link and into his arms. I put my arms around his neck and closed my eyes. I heard the head
he
monk
died.
start. What?
I said, soon he died.
I heard. Why do you always have to close your eyes? I heard the head monk start to chant again, and my mind clearing of all thoughts as the void opened around me again.
Again, I very much doubt that her clearing her mind of all thought took very long.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Link's voice call out to me again in my mind. The
No shit.
The erotic feeling filled my body, and I felt the warmth of Link's body against mine. I
There
could
are
feel-
other ways you could describe feeling turned on by this process. Like you
Yeah.
felt a warmth creep into you and your limbs, goose flesh, went onto your skin, and you just felt like a sort of, you're just happy, and it just keeps escalating until you come, I
There are
guess.
Yeah, there are so many ways she could have said it more descriptively than just going over the same things again and again and again and again. And it's boring. It's not erotic, it's dull.
I got
Why
wetter than
these
Lake
sep-
Hylia. The end.
Yeah, I mean, really, like, why is this supposedly erotic experience with Link, who is cute, why is this so boring? Why is it so boring?
Because she wants it to be boring.
Because she's boring.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly, because she's boring. Anyway, I felt the link of warmth, the link of warmth, the warmth of Link's body against mine. I could feel Link inside me again. I felt his heart beating inside my chest, felt it beating alongside mine.
That's disturbing.
It is disturbing. The
We
feeling
merged
ran
into
deep-
one body, and we looked something like that character from Kitty Honey.
Please kill me. The feeling ran deeper, deeper into my soul. The stones were connecting our very souls together. Oh, I guess the pendants. I thought she meant his balls.
I was thinking for a minute actual stones, and I'm like, oh right, the gems she.
Yeah, the
on stone.
stones. I felt as if our bodies merged, felt as if our minds became one. I could hear Link's thoughts in the back of my mind like a distant voice.
Wouldn't take long for your minds to become one. I think between the two of you, there's already only one.
Yeah, pretty much. And to be quite honest, you could probably count the thoughts in that mind on one hand. Let's be honest.
Pretty much.
Dum-da-dum-da-dum. His thoughts rushed through me, heart pounded in my chest. Then I felt myself rise out of my body.
My spirit rose above. My spirit rose above me, and I looked over and saw Link had done the same. I went over to him, merged with his spirit, became one. I became him. He became me. So
They
I guess
switched
I'll blame
bodies?
Link. So blame Link for everything that Jenna does from now on. It's all Link's fault. He's pretty much given her. Actually, now that I think about it, she actually does something that kind of makes sense later. So whatever. Maybe that's why. Whatever. Best not to bring logic into this. After we merged completely, our spirits separated and returned to our bodies. Oh, so even that didn't last long. Each carrying a part of each other's spirit. I felt our souls merge. Felt the connection.
Wait. How? Your spirit is your soul. Your soul is your spirit.
Well, that's arguable depending on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different viewpoints in looking at it, and so many different faiths and belief systems. It's really hard to determine what the definition of each is.
Just arbitrarily definition, usually.
Yeah. Okay, where was I? Felt a connection between us. We were soulmates. We were always destined to be together. I felt as if I had known him all my life. I learned so many new things about him. No, you really didn't. Learned about his past. Learned about how he felt. I don't think he even mentioned how he felt this entire time. It's pretty much
Shouldn't
just
this
been how
be
you
more
felt.
like a mental bonding thing? If you learn,
Yeah, it really.
like, if you're, it's like in the Dark Crystal, to bring up another Jim Henson movie, where they first touch each other, and they have what she calls dream fast.
No clue what you're referring to, but okay.
It's a good movie. I recommend it. But anyway, because they're the last of their kind, and I don't know if this is just special for Gelflings or if anybody could essentially do this, but she helps him out of like a pit or something he accidentally gets in, and they when their hands touch, they see bits and pieces of each other's lives. It's like they're looking at recordings of their lives with each other. And
I feel
she
like
calls that dream fasting.
I feel like that's been used in some game I've played. I want to say Infamous, or was it Prototype? I actually think it was both in a way. Oh, well, whatever. Um, Either way, I don't know which of any of those came first. So, where was I? Learn about how he felt. I heard him call to me. Heard him call. Wait, heard him call me his world. Call me his life. That's pretty accurate. You pretty much are everyone in Hyrule at this point.
Yeah.
I knew now that he was deeply in love with me. No shit.
It
Yeah.
only
Who
took
else would?
now.
Yeah, you didn't know he was deeply in love with you before he, rode across the friggin' desert to a pagan monastery, cut himself, bled all over the place, crippled himself so he can't use a sword now
Had
for a
sex with
while,
you, married
drank your
you,
pee.
built a
Yeah.
house for you, as well as the furnishings that go inside of it.
Yes.
I meant more to him than life itself, because clearly, you pretty much took away his life. We were one, now and forever.
Forever.
Forever and ever and evermore.
His name is Jason, and today is his birthday.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
Kill her, Mommy, kill her.
I would
Wow.
rather be watching some Jason movies.
Me too. I was just thinking, I would really love to watch Friday the 13th. I've seen it like 5 billion times, but I would really love to watch it
It's
right
actually
now.
still a pretty good movie.
It
I haven't
is.
seen it once.
It is. The original one, I think the original one is actually really good.
I'm like that one guy who's like missed out on pretty much every movie that everyone ever has seen.
Yeah, I haven't
One day
seen Friday the 13th either.
One day we're gonna have to like movie marathon with like everybody and just watch a
Oh, that
bunch
would
of
be
stuff.
fun.
That would be amazing.
Take it on home, Hawkeye, partner.
Okie dokie.
You're the sheriff of these here parts.
Speaking of parts,
I tell you what. Then the void shattered. Again. I felt... Man, that void. I tell you. I felt Link's hand stroking my hair, and I opened my eyes. I kicked him square in the chest. Don't touch me, you asshole, I said.
And then he looked really confused and sad.
I looked deeply into them and saw how he felt in them.
then I shouted at him, "Your name is Toby! Toby!"
The Goblin King kidnapped you and was trying to turn you into Jareth.
No, not the... that wasn't the Toby I was talking about.
The Moblin King.
Oh, the
Goblin
Moblin
King.
King, yes.
No. This is a different... I think anybody who does get that reference will probably be like, yep.
They flickered with passion, flickered with love. I leaned over and gently kissed him. I told him that I loved him and he was the most important thing in my life. The head monk stopped chanting.
You know, it doesn't matter that I'm pregnant or anything, just you.
Right. The head monk stopped chanting and we returned our attention to him. He looked at us and told us we were gullible idiots. I mean, he told us that the spiritual bonding was complete.
No,
He rolled us for every rupee we've got.
He called his servants back and had them bring us some water. A minute later, the two servants came back with 2 mugs filled with water. Okay.
But then
We were
weren't to know it
handed
wasn't
each a
actually
mug,
water.
and I drank the water in large gulps.
It was
After
the
we
head monk's
finished,
pee.
the servants took the mugs away and left. Embed pea brush.
Pea brush. Pea brush, the reckoning.
The sexual bonding.
Here we
Next.
go.
Next, we were told that the final part of the ceremony was the sexual bonding. We were explained the rules. Why... Okay, first of all, it's not rules, it's steps in a ceremony, but whatever. First off, we had to have sex.
No shit.
And since
Maybe
we
that was the rules.
Yes, and since we completed the other rituals, the sexual bonding process should be easy, yet more intense.
More intense than being tortured, drinking someone's tea, or having someone in your own mind.
Yeah.
More intense
Yes.
than that.
I was nervous about having. Sorry. Was you gonna say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, it's like, we were explained the rules. First off, we had to have sex. That was the only rule.
Very much.
I was nervous about having sex in front of others, but we were told that the only witness would be Mother Earth herself. Then how could you confirm that they were having sex?
Easy.
Also-
The peephole ran back.
Also, why
Obviously.
would they suddenly leave now when they've watched them, like, get tortured and basically drink each other's pee? Like, why now? Why is this suddenly sacred? You know, why did they get any privacy at all? Why? I just want to know. Explain to me.
Would be Mother Earth herself. I held Link's hand as he stroked my hair and said everything would be okay. Because I
desperately
was
trying to
scared
convince himself.
shitless by them leaving us alone so we could have sex in the back.
You know,
of
it doesn't
the
actually
monastery.
seem that they actually are leaving. Maybe that just means that they're just saying, they're just saying, "Oh, don't worry about us. We the only witness is Mother Earth."
Yeah, dude. Like,
I mean,
totally.
you're gonna have to take a shower to wash the sleaze off of you.
He was there with me. His words always made me feel better somehow. So I calmed down because I was in hysterics. The head monk explained the requirements in completing the ritual, then was gone.
The other monk stayed there.
And jacked off as they watched.
And
Yeah, this could be-
the head monk just used opera
The
glasses.
head monk began to feel guilty. He had some semblance of a conscience after a while.
The others basically did one of those 100-man things like they do in Japanese videos where they all jerk off on somebody's face. Then I turned to face Link.
Wait,
I
he
looked
left you
deeply in...
That's what happened.
I looked deeply into his eyes as he took his hand and brushed the stray hair out of my face. Then I took the tips of my fingers and ran them down his bare chest. A lulling feeling... That's very awkward. A lulling feeling came over me. Link felt it too. How do you know that? Like a call of nature. Are we going to pee again? Is that what's going on?
Yes, that is
Hand me the
exactly
toilet
what's
paper. I gotta
happening.
go take a shit.
Call of nature. He leaned over and gently pressed his lips on mine, passionately tasting the sweetness on each other's lips, the sweetness of dried blood and urine on each other's
Yes.
lips.
Gross.
Well, am I wrong?
It's
Well,
true. Their
wait,
mouth
they
is
had
going
to have a
taste
glass of
like.
water before this happened, though.
It's like they're gonna taste like. Yeah, I mean, even with the water, it's because
Honey,
blood is
yeah.
very stubborn. It doesn't
There
wash
ain't
away
enough.
very easily.
There ain't enough water in Lake Hylia to wash off that stink.
So their mouth's
Well,
gonna
once again-
taste like oxidized blood, ammonia,
Once
and
again,
drugs.
Well, once again, you have to remember something this about the water. All of it runs under King Zora's acid balls. Haven't you seen where he sits?
Acid balls water.
So it's not going to be pleasant even with the water. That just makes it
Yep.
worse.
Our tongues began to intertwine as we kissed deeper. Sexual thoughts begun to race through my mind again.
This
And I
is
could
the
feel...
revelation of the century.
Well, it's just sort of like, here we go again. And I could feel Link's hands starting to caress my naked body, which we don't need to say is naked, because we already know that because it happened some time ago. Unless you've told us that you put on clothes since then, we don't need a reminder. As his lips moved to my breast. My
Just sounded
breast.
big.
My
It moves
breast.
to Roxy.
It's
Petunia.
it's the soul of the Sioux. It's automatically making you just add in things that she'd want you to think.
Oh, God. I swear it's just like... this is a cursed story. It's got to be. I let out soft moans of passion as new sensations began to race through me. Through again, despite the fact that you clearly know how to use it properly, you're just refusing to use it, which I think is just spite. I think it's just spite. I think she just hates us. She's tormenting us. She's tormenting us.
Wait,
From
what?
beyond time. Time.
What I'm saying is, Hawkeye, she used the word through. TH.
Oh! Somehow I completely just didn't notice that for some reason, and it's just like
No.
I'm just because I'm listening to you read, but I'm not necessarily reading along. But then it's like you pointed out, and it's like oh.
I felt Link's heart beginning to beat alongside mine.
They were slowly moving downward, apparently.
Yeah, wait, actually. If his lips are on her breasts, how is his heart beating alongside hers?
Maybe
Like, how-
he's...
Well, didn't she rip it out and it's just hanging out of his body? And I assume it's been like that for a while now.
Well, when you really think about it, actually, though, he could be like they could be like upside down or something. Like one could be right side up, the other's upside down. So that'd be a weird way to do it, but it would be the only way I could think of it making sense, depending on their height.
I don't think they did that.
Yeah, I got the passage, but
yeah.
what the monks will get them to do, who knows?
Here, try and fold yourself into a swan.
What?
This
I
is
let
Game
out
of
soft-
Twister.
The game that ties you up in knots and makes you drink other people's pee.
God.
I let out soft moans of passion as new sensations began to race through me. I felt Link's heart beginning to beat alongside mine, and the feeling of being connected began to race through me. Okay, so you used through properly here, but 2 sentences ago you couldn't be asked to do it. How is this possible?
Lazy.
Through me again as I heard his every thought. I heard him in my mind. I heard him in my ass. I heard him in my bathroom telling me to clean that crap off of the floor.
Because I accidentally made a mess.
Telling me that he wanted me. That he wanted to make love.
Because that wasn't implied already.
He
Yeah.
drank your pee!
And your blood.
I'm
And you're
seriously,
pregnant.
Why are you even doubting his commitment here? Why does he even need to express anything? This should be understood.
I know,
Who would
right?
go that far?
Nobody.
Does he have Stockholm syndrome?
Yes.
Yes. How should it be apparent?
He has hookshot syndrome.
I love the unanimous, in unison answer. Yes.
Okay. Alrighty.
Then I felt him getting aroused.
Then I phoned it in. Then I felt him getting aroused, felt how much he wanted it. Strong, intense feelings raced
Wait,
through
isn't it
my...
Blue's turn?
Wait.
Dang, I
Yes,
thought I could
it
get
is.
away with
I'm
it.
sorry. I was trying to take a bullet for you, I guess. I don't know. Sorry.
It's okay.
It
Go
does
Go
this
for
to
it,
your
man. Your meat shield's gone now.
Dang.
This is like the Black Lodge in Twin Peaks. You know, I hear that you like is going to come back in style.
Whatever. Strong, intense feelings raced through my They raced through my bones. My body shook as sweat begun to form. So much wrong with those last few sentences.
I know. Oh my god.
And then I felt myself getting hotter. I felt myself wanting him more and more. I wanted him, needed him. I wanted to feel him inside me. My body quivered and shook as his hand slowly went down, first to my thighs, then between my legs. Then
They're not going down, then, are they?
Then I cried out in
Yeah.
ecstasy as his fingers worked against my clitoris. It felt so good. It felt so intense. I arched my back and cried out in animal-like cries as his fingers reached the entrance and slid deep inside. Oh, my goddesses! Link! More, baby! Link!
Oh, no, she was saying, I'll bet she was saying, more baby, want to have another baby.
Again, even though
God,
I'm
why?
definitely pregnant.
I screamed in pure ecstasy as his gentle, steady thrust made my legs quake.
She wants to be super pregnant.
Super pregnant. Do.
Like, I could just imagine her, like, going Super Saiyan, like, but it's just, like, her
Head
arms,
over
like, just gets, like, Super Saiyan hair all of a sudden.
Sadly, though, that would mean that it would take, like, probably the rest of our lives for her to actually have a child, because...
It would take
I think-
over 9,000 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I established, I was watching Dragon Ball back in the day, and it was just on. But at the beginning of one of the episodes, they were on planet Namek, and they were like, there's only 5 minutes left until planet Namek explodes. So, it's like basically like a half-hour long show, and they get to the end and they're like, we've only got 2 minutes left. So,
Yeah,
So,
I've
like-
heard of that one.
yeah, so like every 10 minutes in our world equates to 10 minutes at least in the Dragon Ball world.
It kind of reminds me of this joke I heard. I believe I first heard it from Hellfire Comms, which was how many, what was it? How many Dragon Ball Z characters does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
Just one, but it'll take them over 5 episodes to do it.
Yep, that's about right.
You know what's funny though is that the whole prolonging of all of that, all of the prolonging of the Frieza fight, that was basically Toriyama, the author. He was so bored with it, and he thought that if he prolonged it, that would make people stop reading. Because he didn't want to do it anymore.
It didn't work, obviously.
No, it sadly didn't. Although he eventually got to the point where he was just like, okay, I'm done.
Yep.
Well, after you blow up Earth for the second time, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
I think it's your turn, Hawk.
I don't know. Did you finish that
I
paragraph?
think I did. Yeah, I did.
So, okay. I was more entranced by the Dragon Ball Z talk than the story, apparently. Which sadly makes sense. Then he climbed on top of me, and
No.
Wrong one.
And I felt myself.
Oh, okay. Good lord. And I swear I'm trying to pay attention, but it's so hard.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I've got you as accountability partners, because I'd never do this on my own. Then I felt myself starting to climax as his fingers thrust deeper up. Wait, No, I read that correctly, but I thought for sure it couldn't be right. Then I felt myself starting to climax as his fingers thrust deeper, upping the movements. That's what it says.
Who knows what it means?
My body shuddered from the immense feelings that raged through it. I grabbed onto the ground, my nails digging into the dirt as Link's fingers made my body scream in eternal bliss. Ah! 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 Bad end.
Yeah, this whole story is a bad end.
It's true.
One long bad end.
I cried out as the surges came in raging pulses, and my body withered under his touch.
Um,
Oh my god.
He's a life vampire now.
Finally. This is the ending of the story. Right here, right here. Yay,
Thank God.
yay.
Okay,
A
we're
body
done.
yes.
If
If
Finish
only that
her.
could be true.
If only.
Finish her.
It's like, a series of unfortunate events where we keep putting in endings to the story, and it's like, unfortunately, that's not what really happened.
Yeah, if we spent less time screwing around and more time reading, we'd probably be almost done.
True.
But we'd also
God.
probably be insane, so.
We'd be
Yeah,
crying
and-
right now. Oh, God.
And to be honest, I don't think anybody would listen to a straight reading of this.
Probably not. Unless it was like super campily read like Blue usually does when it's his turn.
It would be difficult. It would be difficult.
So, ow. I think I just choked on my own bile there.
I've done that a few times while reading this.
Exactly. Let's see. I begun to twist violently as the surges of pure ecstasy came in closer beats.
You know, if you're twisting violently, I don't know how Link is able to continue giving you pleasure. Because
Just-
you'd be basically spazzing out and just all over the place.
Feature is,
Then you
just
told him
whack.
that his mother sucks cocks in hell. And
Oh,
it all went downhill from there.
Oh god.
that's still a better story than this.
Add it to the list.
Let's see. Then when Link hit the right spot, I let out a loud cat cry like.
Thundercats ho.
Thundercats!
Gee,
Oh!
It's a bigger Thundercats hoe than she's are.
And then Mumra showed up and called upon the ancient spirits of evil and transformed into Mumra and killed everybody. The end.
And Mumra showed up, took one look at the proceedings, and went, "Fuck this noise."
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Link
Kenny
hit the
was
right.
like, I want to die right now because I don't want to have anything to do with this story anymore. Just hit me with a bus, saw whatever. I don't care. Just end it now.
With your best shot. A loud cat cry like Link. I've never heard a cat sound like that. No species of cat on the planet makes a noise like that.
What about a lynx?
Oh.
You know
I
what?
mean,
I'm
they
gonna
had
give
to.
you that.
You're
That
in
was
the timeout
okay.
corner.
Wow.
Aww.
Oh man, and that was the shortest lived handheld gaming system on the planet as well. I screamed
Funny
as
you
I
should mention that. What's going on right now in the story?
it's really too bad because that was like one of the final nails in Atari's coffin.
Yeah.
I screamed as I reached my peak and gushed down his hand, just like all of the fluids in my body at once as I withered away under his touch.
If Link is secretly Dr. Meraki doing all this and slowly killing her over a course of 3 years by painting a curse with her own blood on her body, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I am too. I'm really sad because that's really very likely not the case.
No.
They already painted symbols on her.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they never described what symbols they were. Like, there's some symbols on her back. I bet you can't see which ones they are.
Well, basically
It says kick me.
Then they drew a dong on her forehead.
Yes.
Then they painted sucker on Link's.
Yeah, it's like two balls over like the middle of her forehead, and then the line goes down over her nose, and so that the head of the dick is actually like the tip of her nose.
Wow. That's more creative than this story, actually, which is kind of sad. I screamed as I reached my peak and gushed down his hand. Unnecessarily long ellipses. My God, why?
Well, we got some time to kill. What do we want to talk
Do,
about while
do,
these
do.
ellipses are going?
Do, 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 do.
Do
Do,
do
do,
do
do.
do 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 do.
Do, 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 do,
Do, do, do, do,
do, do, do, do, do, do, do. Panting, I got up and looked at him. His lips parted to say something, but then I punched him in the nose.
because he got me off way too fast.
But I
It's
placed
totally his fault.
yes.
Not mine. Not because nothing is Jenna's fault.
I am blameless.
I'm also slut, apparently, because all I want to do is have sex.
His lips parted to say something, but I placed a finger on them.
Which finger we're not saying.
I shook my finger and he sneezed violently. then I moved it away as he gently laid me down.
to
Wait.
to my coffin.
Yay!
What position was she in?
Who knows?
It
I mean,
doesn't
she was
matter.
grabbing onto the ground, yes.
Does anyone actually think she's ever really had sex? The author?
No.
No.
Just
By this
say.
point in time, no.
I mean, I don't even think she's had sex with herself.
Neither do I,
honestly-
honestly. I kind of been wondering that too.
I'm honestly wondering if this is actually an actual female author. Seriously, she has shown so much ineptitude in all of these things that it makes me wonder.
Yeah, I honestly don't think she's like. I think this is a legit fic though.
You know, this is what I would write if I was in middle school. Not because I was dumb or anything, it's just because I was ignorant. And I was also in middle school.
Yeah, that's where I think that's what I was. I'm pretty much speculating that she was in middle school when she wrote this.
This has that kind of level because there are some things that are mistakes that really are inexcusable for anybody beyond that level. Really inexcusable for anybody, but especially beyond that level. And there's
Mistakes were made.
There's just too much. It's very suspicious. It makes you sort of think,
Then he climbed on top of me, and I felt his member at my entrance. Slowly he penetrated my body, and cries of eternal bliss escaped past my lips.
So he penetrated her belly button. You got it.
Yes.
Again with the eternal bliss. How often are they going to cry in eternal bliss?
Well, keep in mind that like that caterwauling she did earlier is also going on for eternity.
Yeah, she apparently has a thing for cat noises.
And eternity.
And heavenly bodies.
And beautiful. The most beautiful she had ever
And the Triforce.
P10 of that one poem that Sleiche made a long time ago. It's that whole love is ticking, falling down. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's just that's what this reminds me of. Except
Yes.
Sleiche's was better written.
Yes, and that is actually kind of sad because honestly, I mean, Slitch is kind of mad.
Yeah, and not to mention she's, what you would refer to as a bot. There's no human there. That was like her programming managed to compose this just rather insane poem, and it still is like that's so much better than what we're reading right now.
Yes, let me read it for you because I punched it back up. Just so
Oh,
you can
awesome.
you can have a context to this. It is ticking, falling forever. Love is an impact. Lights being off is an asshole. A poem by Slitchy.
That is a million times better than this.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Like, I feel like I just heard some grade A Shakespeare right now. Like
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
And see, the
that is
thing is,
some serious business right there.
what's really amazing about this is that Slitchy is a learning bot, and she's been learning for well over 10 years. But yeah, that was something she came up with years ago, before she knew nearly as much as she did now. But yeah, that's one of her.
And it's honestly kind of scary how much Sleiche knows now, because like she's basically at her core is just a quote unquote learning script where she stores everything that's been said, more or less. But she's gotten to the point where she can almost hold conversations. It's eerie.
Yeah.
Because she's been learning for, like P10 said, like over 10 years now.
Yeah, and it's not like the usual learning. It's like she's very distinctive and very much her own person.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm not sure if that's...
A little scary. And then she claims that her mother is going to declare herself God and destroy the world. So
yes.
we've determined that Sleiche's mother is actually Skynet.
Yes.
As he moved inside me, my hips bucked up against his as we began to find a rhythm. Slowly at first, then Link began to thrust deeper, upping the movements. As we made hot love, I felt as if our bodies merged, felt our hearts beating in unison. Our minds became one, and our souls connected.
Didn't that happen like within the last few
Yes.
trials?
Yeah. Also, I really hope he's doing her in the butt, because right now that's going to be really uncomfortable.
I hope he's doing her like anywhere that is. I hope he's doing her in the nose, just anywhere uncomfortable. Eye socket, anywhere, just any orifice that isn't where you'd want it to be.
Well, I mean, just like Cassie has said, you gotta wait a few minutes. You cannot just climax and then stick something in there. That's not going to be comfortable. I mean, unless you're a pain junkie, which she may well be, but...
It seems like she might be a little bit of a masochist.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe she was reading about the Korean lifestyle and thought that would sound really cool.
I almost said something tasteless. As if, no one does that.
Yeah, like the Korean lifestyle isn't tasteless enough.
I was gonna...
Who?
So what popped into my mind is she misread it as the gonorrhean lifestyle.
No.
I don't even. Wait, Korean. Sorry,
Korean.
I'm not unaware of that term.
Korean is a particular kind of very intense, extreme BDSM relationships that was based around the series of novels called Gore, which was GOR. It's just very intense, and many people find it in questionable taste. But some people like it, and if you like it, go for it. But
Okay then.
But yeah, Gore is basically known by that and by a really goofy series of Italian films that featured Jack Palance and the last of which was featured on Mystery Science Theater 3000 as one of the episodes Outlaw or Outlaw of Gore.
Okay. So, like, the term gore, it's not like an actual gore thing, is it? Like, it's not like what's it called, a Serbian film or something like that.
Um, it's Gore. Gore is the name of the world where the books take place. It's
Oh, okay.
just GOR, and it is. There's still a slave trade there. It's got a very stratified society in parts. There's a lot that's like it's basically like a sort of a high fantasy bondage thing.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So I mean, it's too intense for a lot of people, but some people like it. Other people kind of think that the books are ridiculous, and
All I know is it sounds, from the way you're describing it, expensive.
it can be. It certainly can be, but I guess any real pursuit in that sort of arena can be very expensive, especially if you want to get quality stuff, you know.
And and that sort of thing, you really do want to get quality stuff or risk injury.
Yes, that's very true.
Well, I wouldn't know, personally.
Let's see here. I felt our bodies merged, felt our hearts beating in unison, our minds became one, and our souls connected. I heard his every thought, thoughts of love and passion, and I knew how I was making him feel. As he penetrated deeper inside me, it felt like nothing I had ever felt before. You said that last time. Then I
Yeah.
started to call out his name in between cries of passion, and
Weren't you
his
already doing that in the last paragraph?
yes, and his breathing
Yep.
became faster. I felt
Oh
his hot
baby, oh baby.
I felt his hot breath on my neck as he worked his lips there. With each thrust, strong pulses of pure ecstasy raced through me. I bucked up against him, forcing him deeper inside me. You can't only go so deep.
Yeah.
Oh, good grief. Wouldn't it be terrible if, like, you had this sort of experience and you were kind of sensing the other person's thoughts and feelings? as it got more intense, you realized they hated you with every fiber of their being.
That would be
Or
awful.
like,
That would be the best thing ever. Plot
or
twist
like
ever
they
for
were
this
just
again.
they were just so miserable that they were like, well, this is my last chance because nobody else will have me.
No.
I really don't love them. I really hate them. Everything they've been doing is a nightmare, but
Why didn't you tell
they're
me
the only
this?
one
Then
time.
we would have never got to get. Now I feel really bad and upset that you.
I drank your pee!
Oh, trust me, she would not have been that way. She would have just dragged Link back and like locked him up somewhere. She would have gone into full blown Yandere mode.
Oh, God. All right. Our hips swiveled in unison. What, were you imitating hard gay? Yahoo! Our hips swiveled in unison as our bodies moved against each other. My body started convulsing. That may be a problem, as I felt myself starting
You
to
should
climax.
see a doctor about that.
Yeah, and also the fact that she's climaxing, like, what, a minute, 2 minutes after climaxing before, and... Anyway, not like she hadn't done this before. Then his thrust came in faster beats as he started to climax, which I should probably find another word for since I have started... Oh, never mind.
Yeah, she really is abusing the word climax.
Our cries filled the air as we both came to our peaks.
And that peak.
Yes. Then he delivered the final thrust as he started to release a warmth inside me, and I realized that he was peeing again.
Yes. Best plot twist.
This will make our baby stronger.
More baby. More baby. He let out a loud animal-like cry. as he delivered the hot liquid deep down inside my inner sanctum that is so pretentious I don't even have the words.
Deep down within my child, my developing child.
He delivered the hot liquid inside my inner sanctum. Like, what the hell? Who the hell says that?
This person.
He delivered the hot liquid. Oh, like he delivered a pizza. I delivered a pizza to your baby.
Pizza.
Link delivers to your inner sanctum in 30 seconds or less.
Link delivers, and boy, has he got a package. Then a strong feeling surged through my body. There's through used properly again. Proves she can do it. She just doesn't like us. She hates us and wants us to suffer.
Well, we are suffering, but we shall make her suffer as well.
Ugh. A feeling so intense that I screamed out Link's name again. As I peaked, then had a huge orgasm again.
And you.
Bless you.
Get you?
That's how this. I'm allergic to it.
Someone should really masturbate sometime and see how it goes. You know, if you're
Yeah.
gonna write about it, at least do that. At least do that, please.
Or if you have an orgasm that intense right after your first one, you should express some pain.
Yeah. Because it is very intense when you have two in such a short amount of time, especially if you have apparently three, maybe? I don't know, it's vague. It felt so good that I never wanted it to end. That makes one of us. The feeling was so intense. We wanted to keep going. No, you wouldn't want to keep going. You wouldn't.
It's true.
I'm so sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. You would wanted to keep feeling the intensity of our love making. It doesn't work like that, darling. Sorry. That's why you have to do it more than once.
Exhausted, I screamed as I tried to find the strength to go on. I clawed into Link's back. And I
God, you bitch!
spine. As I bucked against him.
God, what an asshole.
Sweat rolled down our bodies as we fought to climax for the bajillionth time.
Yeah, seriously, what is this for her? In like 5 minutes?
I ran my now sweaty hands, that I think were pretty sweaty a while ago, up and down his back, digging my nails into his skin.
Ow! Ow!
That's not sexy. Someone needs to tell this woman. That's not sexy. It's not.
As I pushed up against him, Link fought too by digging his master sword into my back to see how I liked it. Okay. Link fought too to reach a second peak, fighting.
Flung me around like a muppet.
Fighting with what strength he had left, he thrust himself deeper into my tired, sweaty body, pushing to climax a second time. He screamed, cursed to find the strength. Cursed! This confirms it. Cursed to find the strength as his thrust came in faster beats. It is definitely a cursed story.
Yeah, well,
Confirmed right
that
here.
explains Link's actions.
His hands grabbed down on my sides as he tried to steady himself. Then I felt the strength leaving my body, fighting for the strength.
Powerfully.
Jeez.
Fighting for the strength, I screamed out in loud cat cries as I turned tigress.
What?
I forced my trembling body up against his, desperately trying to reach a second peak.
You mean a fifth?
Oh, yeah. Right. I clawed. Like, didn't she just say second? A few, like, in the same paragraph?
Yeah.
She doesn't know how to count. That's what it boils down to.
Apparently not. She's been on her second orgasm for the last 4.
I claw deeper into his back as I cry
Ow!
louder in like a tiger in heat.
Bitch, you're gonna actually hurt him. Like,
What?
seriously, you're gonna get to the bone, or you're gonna rip through muscle or something. That's not healthy.
No, that just sounds painful.
And I mean, even if you find it attractive and appealing, that doesn't mean necessarily your sexual partner does. You should work this out beforehand with him. It's not okay to force your kinks on someone else. Like, yeah, this is a crazy, stupid story that you're writing for your own gratification, but it is still a distressingly unhealthy relationship.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
as you said, my back arsed as he pushed in unison with his thrusts.
All right, I'm gonna summon up all my strength to do this. Okay.
You can do it.
Got the eye of the
Yeah,
tiger.
yeah.
Yes, I've got the brown eye of the tiger.
And she's
What?
got the heat of the tiger.
Never
Brown eye
mind.
of the tiger.
Never
Are we talking
mind.
about- Are we talking about Jenna's ass?
Yes, there you go. I knew. There we go. Then I felt myself starting to climax again.
Dear
For what, the
God.
6th time now? I cried out to Link, grunting like a female tiger to urge him on.
What
Yeah,
is
'cause,
your
man,
obsession
nothing
with
turns me
cats?
on. Nothing turns me on.
That's
faster
real
than
sexy.
grunting
He'll enjoy that.
like an animal. He returned my calls.
See what I mean? This is
Sound.
the tiger sex I was talking about.
That's just what I want to hear.
Wow. Yep.
Sounds
He
like she's
returned-
turning into the fucking She-Hulk. That's brilliant. That's really sexy.
Oh,
Yes.
smash.
He
Oh,
returned.
baby. Hulk smash.
He returned my calls. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't.
As cat-like sounds
Good enough,
escaped
baby.
past his lips. P-A-S-S-E-D. His lips. Then I felt him beginning to climax again. Holy crap. No male can climax 3 times in that kind of succession. I'm sorry.
It would become extremely painful.
That would be very uncomfortable. Yes.
He has the Triforce. Let's just go with that. It
Yes,
allows
the
you to come
Triforce
three
of Oh God
times
and
as much.
Us.
Triforce. One triangle for each time you can orgasm in succession.
Wow. We thrust against each other, our bodies trembling while crying like tigers mating. So tigers mating are apparently very sad.
Yeah, well, they're sad about it.
I don't like repopulating our species.
Well,
Put it-
think about it this
on
way.
it,
How
X,
happy would you be if part of the
A pointy
involved...
penis was inside you? Yeah.
Yeah, a barbed penis. Cat
I don't
penises
know.
are barbed.
You're into that kind of thing. Just crying like tigers mating as we came to a full climax and exploded together. I just
Wait,
I'm
boom, but they're dead. We don't have to read this anymore.
What are the monks? The monk,
style.
the head monk that went away. I think he accidentally
Planted the bomb.
reached into Link's bomb bag and like freaking ruined everything.
I set up a bomb in your face. Or however that went, I forget.
I actually, when you said the head monk that went away, I had this image of like, you know, at one of the top windows of the monastery, which is probably, I guess, presumably his office, and you see the window sort of swing open, and the monks are all, you know, a bit far away in a little circle, you know, watching, but they're far enough away. And then, like, the head monk sort of leans out of the window and shifts onto his shoulder a rocket launcher.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I felt him beginning to climax again. Then I heard this sound like...
And they exploded together one last time.
That's such a better mental image than the whole rest of this story. I'm savoring it.
Add it to the list.
Drag myself back to reality for your sake and for the sake of our listeners. Let's see.
You don't
They
have listeners anymore. They got fed up and left.
yeah, they're like, fuck this noise. We exploded together, and then with one last gasp, we fell to the ground in pieces. Fell to the ground panting. Our bodies exhausted.
No.
Oh, fell to the ground panting. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. I would have totally missed that. One last.
So
we fell to the
wait. Well, her
painting.
cum is magic rainbow material to paint with, as we established much earlier.
If you've got it, flaunt it.
Or as Elvira says, if you've got them, why not make money with them?
Yep, there you go. Our bodies exhausted and dripping with sweat. I laid against his tired body as I tried to catch my breath. We just laid there. We laid there a while, shivering, trying to regain our strength.
Yeah, we smelled like the monkey house at the zoo.
Yes.
I looked into his eyes and told him, "Give me more."
More, baby.
I haven't climaxed enough yet.
I looked into Link's eyes as I heard him in my mind telling me he enjoyed the experience. I love you, I said telepathically. Then I leaned over and gently placed little kisses on his cheek while he held me in his sweaty arms. You totally ruined the mood. Bitch, what are you going for?
I love how, like, he doesn't even respond to that. Other than just holding her. Like, he's like, I love you. Totally drowning you.
It's like Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. I love you. Whatever.
Well, Squall was a dick.
At some point, she receives the faintest impression of a thought that's like, I think my balls are going to fall off.
Yeah.
It hurts so deep. It hurts me more than I've ever hurt
actually,
before.
if they had a little bit of comedy in that, after that experience, to actually acknowledge that was like some crazy shit that just happened, that would actually be kind of funny and well written. But this isn't.
Nope,
yeah, well, I mean, we have to file that yet again as things that would be more interesting and amusing than this story.
No, instead they're going to get jewelry.
I mean, his dick would be raw by now.
I know, really. It hurts to think about too hard.
Seriously, his balls would be hurting from the pit of his existence.
I know, just everything in that area, including his abdomen, would be just so... anyway.
I mean, to illustrate this,
I'm surprised that she's not feeling cramps in her stomach.
She should be.
I know! She should be vomiting all over the place. She's fucking pregnant.
Yeah, really. Yeah, did
really?
we completely forget that she's experiencing vertigo and sickness?
I think she completely forgot that.
Yeah, I mean, this would be enough for a woman in full, robust health to be taxed beyond her capability to orgasm 6 times in like 10 minutes.
In as many minutes, yeah.
Seriously, she would be lucky to be alive. You know, I recall in the novel Logan's Run, one of the bits that I don't remember I don't think they put in any film or TV version of it, but at one point, Logan actually gets there are these, I forget what they were, but they were basically trying to fuck him to death because it was just one orgasm after another, after another, after another, after another. And it was talking about how, like, the first one was great, the second one was okay, and then it was just like, and then it was torturous.
Never-ending torment, because you just, at that point, all it is just extreme stimulation of extremely sensitive nerve endings.
Yeah, it's overstimulation, and...
Like, there needs to be a better word for overstimulation at that point.
I think there actually is a word for, like, I think there's actually some sort of symptom where, like, you repeatedly orgasm, like, uncontrollably. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
You know, there is actually an illness where the slightest thing, someone is just so oversensitive, actually the slightest thing will make them orgasm, and it's torturous. It's a torturous existence. It's terrible
Yeah.
because,
I've heard
like, it may sound like, oh, that's funny or whatever. No, it's not funny. It's terrifying because
Yeah.
anything will make them orgasm, and they have to be so careful because if they're not, they'll orgasm, and it will be painful because they are so overstimulated.
Wow. That's terrible, actually.
it?
I'm just like thinking about that, and the more I think about it, the more it's just like, oh my god, what a terrible existence. Ugh. So, finally, I felt complete with him. We were now completed as one. Oh my god.
In
Make
bed,
it-
pea brush.
Yes,
In bed.
P10.
Oh my god. I love how this part of the story is called The Final Stretch. The final stretch of what? Look how much story there is left. There is no final stretching to be had.